All right, runners, we're talking about injury prevention today. Injury prevention is probably the least sexy, but one of the most important things for runners to think about. And if you've been watching my videos for a while or listening to the Strength Running podcast, you've probably heard me say that I think consistency is the secret sauce that enables successful running. If you can be a more consistent runner, then you are putting yourself on the path to improvement, to progress, to getting better. That's because running is a cumulative sport. What you do builds on itself over time. That's how you're able to run higher mileage, to run longer long runs, do more challenging workouts, because what you did last week is going to impact what you're able to do next week. And the same is true with last month and this month, last year and this year. Since running is cumulative, we have to really make sure that we're being as consistent as possible with our running. And a big part of that is staying healthy. Because if you're always nursing a niggle or small injury, if you have a history of chronic injuries and you're always taking weeks off at a time to get healthy and rehabilitate those injuries, then we're missing a lot of training time. Not to mention your motivation and drive to train is taking a real hit. And so if you don't want to just sit on the sidelines and watch all your fitness get flushed down the toilet, we must build injury prevention into your training program so that you can stay healthy for the long term. I like to say that injury prevention strategies enable the training that you actually want to do. Because most runners want to actually get out there and go running. They want to do the long run, do the workout. They want to go on a run with their friends. They don't necessarily want to spend time doing a strength workout or really working on their sleep to try to get more and higher quality sleep so that they can recover and adapt to their training more. And a lot of the times we want to do the things that look really cool on Strava, but not necessarily all those slightly boring and slightly less sexy types of training that are necessary and keep us healthy. I know when I was in college, I was running some of the fastest times that I ever ran in my life, but at the same time, I was getting hurt all the time. And that was because I didn't build that injury prevention work into my training. I skipped a lot of things that were recommended to me by my coaches because I was 20 years old and I thought I knew everything. And I simply didn't take into consideration all of the lifestyle factors that were negatively impacting my running. And it showed. I had Achilles tendinopathy. I had all kinds of imbalances with my SI joint, IT band syndrome, plantar fasciitis. I was injured several times a year, every year when I was in college. And one of the things that prompted me to start strength running way back in 2010 was because I thought I had something to share with the world. I thought that we could design better training for runners. Training that prioritized injury prevention. Training that got runners to a peak performance level, but did so in a safe, gradual way. A way that prioritized prevention, that enabled you to get stronger and train in a more coherent, sound way. And so if you're not someone who is really prioritizing injury prevention in your training, it is likely one of those areas that can unlock future speed and PRs for you. Now, I could sit here and give you a million and one ways that you could stay healthy, but I want to talk about a couple that are fairly easy to implement. Things that you could start today if you're ready and willing to get on this train for injury prevention. First, let's do some strength training. I know runners just want to run. I would rather go out running than do a strength workout, but runners have to be strong. We have to condition not only our muscles, but also all of our connective tissues, the tendons, ligaments, and bones that comprise all our legs and really enable us to run. If we don't toughen these connective tissues, if we don't build stronger bones and stronger muscles to withstand the impact forces of running, then we're not just going to run slower because we don't have the strength and power to run really fast, but we're also putting ourselves at a big risk for getting injured. Next, let's make sure that we're doing a dynamic warm-up before all of our runs. 10 minutes is all you need to get your heart rate up, to open up capillary beds, and really ensure that your body is primed to run. Let's skip the static stretching right before we go running. Instead, let's actually rev up our heart rate. Let's rev up our respiration so that we are really priming our body for the act of running. Next, let's run easy. We don't have to run hard all the time. In fact, most of your running should be easy. A vast majority of it should be easy. 85% of the miles that you run every week should be at a relaxed, easy effort. And so if you're running a lot of your runs at a moderate effort, if you're not doing any workouts, but most of your runs are kind of moderate or how you might define as medium effort, then we can really polarize our training a little bit more and get more benefit from it. And what that means is let's make our harder days harder. So more challenging workouts. Maybe you don't run your long run as the slowest run that you do every week. It's not a recovery run. And that also means let's make your short days during the week even easier. Let's really slow those down so that on the short mileage days, you are prioritizing recovery. And then on the hard days, the workout days, the long run, you're prioritizing gaining as much fitness as possible. This prompts better adaptations so that you get faster, but it also gives you more time to rest in between those more challenging workouts. Finally, let's make sure that your training is sound. Let's not run crazy workouts that are not appropriate for you or the race distance that you're training for. Let's make sure that the progressions of mileage, of the long run distance, and of your workouts are coherent. They make sense and they build on each other. Every time someone asks me, is this a good workout? I say, well, what workout led to that workout? And what workout are you planning to do next? Because it's all about conditioning your body, right? Kind of like the long run progression. You're not going to run 20 miles before you've probably run 15. The same thing is true with workouts. We have to have those workouts build on each other, evolve over time. And one workout doesn't really make too much of a difference, but it's the whole body of work over the course of the training cycle, the evolution of those workouts, and how those workouts are geared towards your unique fitness level and the race that you're training for. So there we go, guys. This is our call to arms for injury prevention. I want you to recognize it as such an important part of our training. And at the end of the day, we're runners. We want to do what we love to do, and that's running. I can't think of a better thing to focus on in our training if we want longevity in the sport and if we just want to keep doing what we love to do. If we want to get out there and run some miles most days of the week, we have to do all the little things around it that enable us to do the sport that we love so much.